It's been a long week. Lots of stuff has happened for the Eagles. They cut the roster to 53. They saw Micah Parsons get traded. We've talked about it all. So what are we going to do today? Probably mail it in. Join us if you want. Choose not to. Doesn't matter. We're going to be here on the PHLY Eagles podcast coming up next. From the Xfinity Studio, it is the PHLY Eagles podcast presented by Bet365 and TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Bo Wulf, EJ Smith here on a beautiful Friday afternoon, 6 days away from the season opener for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. EJ, how you doing?
I am doing well. I don't share your sentiment. I am ready for today's show. I'm excited for it to be a great show. Okay,
I'm not saying it's not going to be a good show.
There's no mailing it in. I'm new here. I can't just be coming.
No skin off my back. If you watch or don't watch, I don't care.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
We're going to do the show. That's all.
You know, this is what they get some new energy.
Maybe they're taking their. It's a long weekend. They got Labor Day coming up. They want to skip the Friday show.
No, they're gonna hang out.
I think that makes you a jabroni, but you can do it. I don't care.
They're gonna hang out with us. They're gonna have a good time. They're gonna get surprised because we have a little bit of Eagles news at the top of the show.
You can surprise me with this. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Make sure that if you're not the kind of loser who's just not going to watch this show and you're going to skip over it, you want to really support us, become a diehard. Now's a good time to do it. $36 for the whole year. Brand new merch has dropped that you can take a part of. All good stuff. Okay.
You see that the chat thinks we're doing a mailbag and you've already scared people away.
Oh, let's talk about this for a second. Because here's what we've decided. There are people from your previous podcast location who want you to do mailbags. They're used to hearing your very questionable takes on non-football things. Consistently wrong. Solid. I mean, like, I would say you were right about 10 times, like 10% of the time.
Nah.
What I think we should do is every Friday you can answer one question.
I like that. I really like that.
You just get one question.
It has to be a really good one, though.
It's got to be curated.
Are they going to email me these questions and I get to pick?
I think I want to put more on Julia's plate.
No.
But message Julia on the Discord. Yeah, this is only for diehards. Yeah. If you want to ask EJ a question, you have to be a diehard. So you got to get on the Discord. You can email or you can message Julia, and Julia will pick out the one question a week that we will answer.
Oh, come
Fran
on,
agrees.
Fran.
Consistently questionable off-field takes from
no.
me.
Listen,
and that is being generous.
First off, I am not afraid to stand out on my own on some of these things. I'm convicted in my stances. And the other thing, everybody thinks it's so easy to come up with their opinion in the safety of their car, listen to the podcast. The bullets are firing. I got to answer these questions without, the other.
We are normal people in the
I'm the only one on the pod that didn't read the questions beforehand. It's a live reaction. You got to keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. Let's get to it. We do have some Eagles news. We're going to make this the big takeaway presented by Xfinity. We've got some Eagles news. The big takeaway, and the Eagles have named their captains for the 2025 season. EJ, how many are there?
There are, I'm to bad with that. There are 8 captains.
8 captains? Oh, that could have been that's too many.
So
in 2023, Nick said they had too many captains. They pared it down to 6 last year, I think.
I believe it was 6. I have.
All right, let's see if I can go 8 for 8.
The reason that my laptop is tilted funny, for those listening, the eagle-eyed among you, I'm trying to hide this from Bo.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can go 8 for 8.
They had 7 last year.
They had 7 last year, so they've grown by 1. Jalen Hurts.
Yes, that'd be a surprise.
A.J. Brown.
Yep.
Zack Baun.
Yes.
First-time captain.
Yeah, so you got one of the new guys. This is great podcast.
Two? Are they going to do both Lane and Jordan Mailata? I'm going to say Jordan Mailata.
Yes.
Okay. So four. So
you got Lane too, then.
Oh, you're giving me Lane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know if they're going to give two in the offensive line. I didn't Lane.
They were going to strip him of his
captaincy to take a step back. Okay.
No.
Okay. So how many? That's 5.
You've got 5. You've got 3 remaining. 2 new guys.
Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Okay. They need somebody else on defense. Oh, interesting.
There's one that might surprise you.
Is it an employee of PHLY?
Just might be.
Reed Blankenship.
Reed Blankenship.
Okay. Good for Reed Blankenship.
And then
Jake Elliott.
Yes.
Ah.
That was impressive. Good work by you. That would have been really bad podcasting if you were worse at that. But
that's true.
Yeah.
And once again, DeVonta Smith shoved out the door. Like he gets stripped of his captaincy after 2023.
Yeah. Still can't make it.
They add a couple more and he doesn't get to join again. I don't know. Shot across his bow. Big takeaway presented by Xfinity. The Eagles hate DeVonta Smith.
Reed Blankenship is an interesting inclusion, though. You know, obviously he is a leader on that secondary at this point. It's a younger group that he is it feels weird to say he's the elder statesman, but he is. I think that one.
And only 2 players on defense.
Yeah, that's the one that really surprises
5 players on offense.
Yeah, I mean,
2 on defense.
I guess it really is a reflection of how young they are on defense.
Yeah.
That, like, if they wanted a defensive captain outside of Zack Baun, who, even him, I mean, he's only been here for a season. I think it makes sense he's a captain, but still, like, who else would really be a candidate? You're looking at a lot of second-year guys.
Yeah, I think if Nakobe Dean were healthy,
that's a good one.
That would probably be one of them. But yeah, I mean, it's not, you're not going to give it to a second-year player.
Nakobe Dean would be like
Jalen Carter in his 3rd year is, probably not the guy. So
yeah, I mean, you want your captains to be out there on the field like for most of the time, and even when he's back from injury, there are questions about if he's going to be on the field. So yeah, I think Reed makes a lot of sense. It's just when you see him up there with the rest of these guys, it is a little bit like, I guess. I mean, he's been around a long enough time now that I think it does make sense.
Man, I hope DeVonta's furious.
Yeah, it is.
What the hell?
It's really he is the victim.
There's only so many to go around.
Yeah, he is the victim of them being so stacked offensively with a bunch of leaders in that room too, or in that group too. Because yeah, I mean everything about him would signify that he'd be a good captain. But you look at the guys they chose, and who are you taking off over?
Well, this is a take that you have had that I agree with, which is that the way that people talk about AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith is completely flipped from the reality of their lives on the team. Like DeVonta doesn't come to all the offseason stuff.
Could you
DeVonta DeVonta stretches on his own?
Yeah, I always
practice the visual of with the team. Like
the visual,
he's not a captain,
right?
If that was AJ, it's all anybody would talk about.
Yeah, the visual of the rest of, like, literally 89 of the 90 players, well, less than that, but all of the healthy players stretching their hamstrings and doing, like, whatever stretches they're doing, and DeVonta Smith off to the side jumping rope. Like, he has earned the benefit of the doubt with that. I'm not saying that he's undeserving of that benefit of the doubt, but you do think if A.J. Brown, or could you imagine if Deshaun Jackson did something like that? Like, everybody's eyebrows would be up. So, again, I'm not saying it's not an earned thing for DeVonta, but yeah, they definitely are viewed a lot differently from a public perspective, AJ and DeVonta.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, what do you think about those captains?
I mean, I always look at the first time guys. Saquon, Zack Baun, and Reed Blankenship. Mailata was a captain last year, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah. So those 3 guys stand out, but none of them are surprising. It feels like if you could give somebody a midseason captaincy, Saquon would have been a candidate for that. And Zack Baun, again, you look at a young defense. Zack Baun and Reed Blankenship are kind of the leaders of that group.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only ones Reed is the one who has been here the longest of any defense.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about because it feels like just yesterday
that I invented him. I agree.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I mean, you and Jimmy were both on him pretty early.
No. Jimmy knew he existed as a prospect, not that he was a good player.
Yeah, but he still bought some early stock. We're going to be buying some stock later in the show, and I'm excited for that.
Okay. Look forward to it. What we didn't get to talk to you about the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah.
Did the emergency podcast with Fran yesterday. Hope everybody watches that. How did you take in that news? What did you think from an Eagles perspective?
Well, I was driving home, which is a commentary on the difference between my commute and your commute. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to
be walking home after the show today. How about that?
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Flex.
No big deal.
Yeah,
Beautiful outside.
If I was walking home, it would take me like a day.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But my biggest takeaway.
Would you walk on the highway?
No, absolutely not.
So how would you get there?
I would have to take back roads. It'd probably take me 2 days. It's like the most indirect route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out
Would
to
you hitchhike?
Westchester, though. I like Westchester. I'm not complaining about the commute.
Okay.
But
Would you be willing to hitchhike?
no, I would never hitchhike.
Hmm.
I don't even watch scary movies. I'm like an anxious person. So no, I wouldn't hitchhike.
Okay. I mean, I guess
I'm trusting.
in this world, you could have just ride share.
I'm inherently trusting, but no, I wouldn't hitchhike. I mean, yeah, the ride share, but no, maybe it'd be good for content for me to walk home. Could do that.
We should find a way for like some kind of bet. You know, the classic radio trope where the Eagles lose this game, I'll walk to Baltimore.
I was thinking about something like that. I'm not going to unveil it yet. I'm going to tease it, and maybe we'll talk about this later. It's not walking home. It's something else.
I'll go on the record right now. If the Eagles go 0-17, I will walk to California.
You heard it here first.
Promise. 0-17, I'm walking to California to the Super Bowl.
I'm disappointed you didn't take like the dad joke opportunity here and just go like, if they go 0-18 or something like that, like, yeah, something impossible. All right. You want to hear my Micah Parsons take?
Yeah, let's hear it.
If you will allow me a European soccer analogy here.
You've probably been dying to do this.
Yes, I have. I thought about this on the drive in.
Yeah.
You'll hear soccer fans talk about the giants of European soccer going through what you call banter eras. I think the best translation in American football would be probably an unserious era.
Okay.
The Cowboys are in an unserious era. They have been for a while now. It's been decades. And the Micah Parsons trade, the decision to trade him, the timing of the trade, what it does to the team and the return that they got, all of these factors really are the inflection point. It's like the perfect illustration of this unserious era that they are in. You look at the timing of it, but also just this is a league that is set up for teams to never lose players like Micah Parsons. Like there are so many avenues that they could have taken. There's so much leverage that they had over a player as good as him, one of the best players in the NFL. Again, the league is set up. There are, institutions in place in the CBA that keep a team from ever having to let somebody like that leave the building. They could have, maybe he would have sat out the entire season. I doubt it. But even then, like, you have the franchise tag available to you for players exactly like Micah Parsons. Honestly, players worse than Micah Parsons. The franchise tag is in place for those things. So the timing, the return, the ignoring all of the maneuvers that they could have done. We aren't like comparing them to the Eagles is like boring. It's like, obviously the Eagles would have gotten this extension done early. They would have tried to get, ahead of the market instead of reacting to it. We would have never gotten here if it were the Eagles. But like, I think even if you zoom out further than that, any team with an asset as valuable and irreplaceable as Micah Parsons would have been smarter about handling this than the Cowboys. I don't think you would go so far. You probably could go so far as saying that they are the worst run organization in American sports. Ooh. I don't know if I would go that far.
I'm not sure I would go that
relative to the scale of what they should be, the brand, the reach, the legacy of this franchise. I think you could make an argument relatively that they are the worst.
I'd have to think about it. But to me, the crazy, the indefensible thing about it is the order of operations.
Yes.
Like you should never let Micah Parsons go.
You should not.
He's unbelievable. He's in the prime of his career. He plays, the second most important position in the sport. That seems obvious. But if you want to tell me you think that it is in service of the team to get the most for him, you think that he's a little bit overrated. Internally, he's a bit of a quitter or whatever it is. Yeah. Like, he's a front runner. That's fine. We would probably disagree about that, but I can get there. But if you're going to do that, you do it when you're going to get the most for him, which is before the draft, when everybody can fit him in and can put their plans together, instead of like only limiting your pool to however many teams they did now and believe Jerry or not, but like to limiting it to teams that had a defensive tackle they could get. Right. Give me a break.
Yeah.
And they were trying to sign him 2 weeks ago. Right. So it's not like they exhausted all options and did what they wanted to keep him. Obviously, they have run this like a clown show. I am not so sure I'm willing to go the worst run franchise in sports, but it's not far.
Yeah, I was gonna say again, relative to what this
I
could
get you.
be.
That's the argument I used to make about the James Dolan Knicks.
Right, exactly. There are certain franchises that do carry a certain level of weight, and I'm not saying that really does buy you that much leverage in free agency. Obviously, the draft is the draft. It's not like you're going to have that many more advantages, but at the same time, you look at what the Cowboys are and what people expect them to be, and this is the thing about the banter eras, right? Is like there are 20-year-olds who have known nothing but the Cowboys being a joke, or at least a laughing stock in the last 5 or 10 years. Like
now, this one I'll give Jimmy the credit. This is he has the graphic of how recently every team in the NFC went to the NFC Championship game. It's like
at some point, like the players in the NFL only know playoff failure for this franchise. So it just is.
There's like one player on the team who was alive when they last went to the Super Bowl.
Right. So
they're a joke.
Yeah, and the zooming, like we're looking back more toward the Eagles. I do think. But this is the thing with the Cowboys, they don't have the direction. So it's like they traded Micah Parsons. That makes me feel like this is now a rebuilding year for them. I've seen people talk about Arch Manning is going to have a star on the side of his helmet.
That is the dumbest take. That is the most delusional, insane take.
If A, is he even coming out this year? B, this is the Manning family.
What are you talking about?
Do you think that they actually would let him go to Dallas?
Not.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have
even if
all
they could
the
get
families,
the pick, which is such a silly thing. That is
generational
so dumb.
quarterback prospects. The one we have evidence that the family would not let him go to a dysfunctional organization. Like, what are we doing here? So yeah, I think it's a 2-horse race in the division, more than it was yesterday when you thought that they were going to make it to the NFC Championship game.
Maybe it'll surprise you. You just need him to win 8 games. That's all.
No, you had him. I think you had him as a sneaky little playoff contender. Make a run. You buying all the Dak stock yesterday.
It's all about crushing the Commanders. That's what's.
Yeah. Well, there is so much wrong with it, but again.
So for the 2025 Eagles, do you think this was a good thing or a bad thing? Because do you think
I heard this? I like this take from Fran that maybe this is a bad thing because it's like
now the Packers are a true contender.
And the Jerry Jones, is this the inflection point where they go, okay,
this guy? But there's something they can do about it. He's as long as he's alive, he's going to be in charge.
Did you hear his press conference where he kept calling him Michael?
No. How many times did he say glory hole?
I wasn't counting glory hole references.
Okay.
I was shocked by how often he called him Michael. So just a rough day for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Eagles fans enjoyed that. Yes, I do think it makes the Packers a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think they were already.
They got Darian Kinnard. Of course they are.
Yeah, exactly. They have the vibes now.
Yeah.
They got the juju. The Eagles have done well relatively against Micah Parsons. They have found ways to keep him from wrecking games against them. So that's not necessarily the concern. I think that the Packers, we were talking earlier this week about who would be a real number 1 seed contender. I think this makes the Packers a lot more viable for stuff like that.
And a timely super chat from Dinkelberg, who says it's not a coincidence that the Packers traded for Micah Parsons after trading for Darian Kinnard.
Could Darian Kinnard be a sneaky GM? Could he be get in the building and hey, 2 firsts and Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons? I think it could get that done.
Oh, you think that was his suggestion? That's part.
Maybe
of
he's
that's
back
part of his
channel.
Super Bowl juju is he has ideas like that.
Maybe he's the one pulling the strings behind the scenes.
He's the one who whispered to Howie because they signed him to a futures deal. He could have told Howie to sign Saquon.
Yeah, maybe
Zack Baun even.
Yeah, he's that's Zack Baun, off-ball linebacker.
Oh, I like this theory.
Be a difference maker there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Darian Kinnard. Maybe secretly.
But then you couldn't let him leave the building if he had ideas like that, right?
Maybe Howie wants to get the credit now. Maybe it's okay, we've gotten what we need from this guy.
Oh, I like that.
We let him linger too long, it gets out.
Okay.
I think we're onto something.
Or Kinnard whispered to him, here's the deal you will not get better than. Me for a 6th.
maybe he's very objective, detached with the whole thing. It's your team building is the best interest of your team building.
Okay. We're going to take a break. And on the other side, we're going to tell you the players that we really want to pound the table for and believe in for this Eagles season as we are 6 days away from the opener. Hello, Fresh. That's right. listen, my life is about to get very busy. The football season starts. The kids are going back to school. Rachel's starting work. It's like, it's all getting thrown at us. And the only way to keep our head above water is to lean into some things that are going to make our lives easier. Things like HelloFresh. Because if you are tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays, you can get dinner done the easy way thanks to HelloFresh. It's easy to find time to eat well with 50 wholesome, hassle-free meals to choose from each week delivered to your door. HelloFresh's new ready-made meals go from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It's the same high-quality ingredients and restaurant-worthy flavor you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. Their lineup of prep and bake meals come together with minimal mess and only 5 minutes of prep, so your oven does most of the work, not you. And then HelloFresh's 15-minute meals are done in just 3 simple steps, so you can eat better this year without all the hassle. Save valuable time with fewer trips to the grocery store thanks to HelloFresh Market. There's over 100 add-on items you can add to your weekly box, like quick breakfasts, packable snacks, beverages, and more. How can you take advantage of this? Well, you can get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/Eagles10FM. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/Eagles10FM. America's #1 meal kit is HelloFresh.
Now, if I were to hitchhike, I'd be very selective about finding somebody with the legendary F-Series.
Oh, yeah. Stick the thumb out for that bad boy.
It is the best-selling truck in America for 48 years running. The F-150 blends work-ready toughness with modern-day tech and luxury, offering 6 powertrain options, including a hybrid and a fully electric Lightning model. Or you could go with the 3.5-liter PowerBoost Hybrid V6 with 430 horsepower and amazing towing capacity. Speaking of that towing capacity, it's best in class with a 14,000-pound limit depending on configuration. So, like, they got enough payload for me, I think, in the hitchhiker. These trucks also come with the Pro Power onboard, so you can turn your truck into a mobile generator, which is perfect for job sites or tailgates this football season. I owned an old truck when I was in college, and that thing rusted like crazy with these Pennsylvania winter roads, but that's why Ford have gone to a military-grade aluminum alloy body, which is tough, lightweight, and corrosion-resistant. The F-150 offers plenty of creature comforts as well, from Ford Blue Cruise to hands-free highway driving on certain trims to max recline seats that offer nearly 180 degrees of recline, which is great for naps or breaks between road trips. You also get the 360-degree camera, which is great for trailering, parking, and off-roading. The F-150 comes available in so many ways. You can get a regular cab, super cab, or super crew and select a bed length that fits your needs. For more information, visit your local Ford store.
All right, Mr. Smith, let's get started here.
Who's going to start?
I kind of know who your #1 is. You've talked about it a little bit. You've pounded the table before. This is going to be the year of this person, but I'm going to let you lead us off.
Okay. I think this is going to be the year of A.J. Brown. We've talked about it earlier this week. I am going to come with some new stats today to kind of really paint the picture, because what I've been talking about a lot this week is
Rembrandt this bad boy up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what Rembrandt means, but we're going to go with it. You're not going to tell me?
Soccer player.
Rembrandt?
No.
Oh, that's what to say. It doesn't sound like a soccer player to me. All right. Now that you've completely derailed me, I've spent a lot of time this week talking about the action to the reaction of the Eagles' rushing production from last season. I think that defenses are going to have to adjust. Is it going to be effective at all times? I don't think so. I think that the Eagles are still going to have a dominant run game, but the changeup that they should see from defenses should open things up in the passing game. I think in general, I'm buying stock in the Eagles' passing game this season. I think A.J. Brown is going to be the driving force. I think he's a good enough player to be the driving force. And again, the stats,
I would say he's a great enough player.
Yeah, I think he is. He wants to put a stamp on it, being the best receiver in football. I think he can prove it this year. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to explain it with these 2 stats. So I was looking at his yards per route run against different coverages earlier today.
Okay.
So against cover 1 and cover 3, aka single high defenses, when defenses put us extra safety in the box to try and stop the run, A.J. Brown ranks 3rd in the league with 3.57 yards per route run. He has 48 catches for 768 yards and 5 touchdowns. against two high zone coverages. Again, two safeties over the top, trying to stop the pass. You know, there was a clip of DeVonta Smith talking to Vic Fangio in the mic'd up segment the Eagles put out, and he goes to Vic and goes, "Enough of that cover two today. You know, I don't want to see those two high safeties. Let me get some work in today." And then, you know, Mina has talked about the Eagles being this math problem. When there are two high safeties over the top, that is favorable for the run game. They are going to run all day against those teams. Against two high coverages, A.J. Brown's yards per route run go from 3.57 against single high to 2.63 yards per route run against two high. I think that they're going to see more single high coverages. I think that A.J. Brown's going to have the volume, the opportunity to take advantage of those. It really fits who he is as a player, you know, being able to win vertically, being able to win, you know, up the seam, on a slant route, finding space against those zone coverages. I think it's just a numbers game at the end of the day.
I think it's a numbers game.
And I think that A.J. Brown is good enough to, if he has the volume and the opportunity, to be the best receiver in football.
Now that those numbers against zone, those are also elite numbers.
Yes. Like, that is true.
Anything over
fair.
two is like elite of the elite.
Yeah, I mean, he was the third. He was ranked third in yards per route run in general, but the number does drop against cover two and cover four.
And sometimes it has felt like it's as easy as man coverage throw to AJ, zone coverage throw to DeVonta. Like that's their two superpowers. But listen, I think AJ's maybe right that he's the best receiver in the NFL. We've talked about it a while, that, you know, the moment from the press conference this summer of, I want to put a stamp on that, but also I want to do what's best for the team. Like it's a very difficult thing for him, I imagine. I think he is the best player on the team. I would not be surprised at all if this is the year of AJ Brown.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what this Eagles offense can look like when it is purely star-driven around Saquon Barkley. I do wonder what it would look like if it was purely star-driven around AJ Brown. I think he's that caliber player, like I said. You know, it's funny, like the best receiver in the league, I think that is usually, it's tough to crown one player that, because I think sometimes you get these possession receivers like the Justin Jeffersons of the world who will always have like the production. What?
You're throwing Justin Jefferson's nothing but a possession receiver.
But you know what I mean? Like there are guys.
Justin Jefferson's basically Jason Avant.
And this is why I said that you had the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. I'm gonna start running with some of these too. I got to give it back.
No offense to Jason Avant.
Nothing against Justin Jefferson. There are volume.
When's the last time Justin Jefferson made a big play? Give me a break.
It's probably pretty recently. There are volume receivers that can have the numbers that kind of, you know, illustrate how they can impact the game. But if you look at A.J. Brown, like really what it is, it's kind of like, it's not too dissimilar from the Jalen Carter effect. Like his numbers may not be unbelievable, but when you watch him play, how dominant he can be in a game really jumps out to you. And I think that A.J. Brown is that type of player. So maybe he won't lead the league in receiving. Maybe he won't have the most catches of any receiver in football. But could he be the most dominant receiver in football this season? Could he be the star of a star-driven offense in the way that Saquon Barkley was in a wide receiver version? I do. I think he could do it.
I think so too. I think it's a good one. I mean, you know, I'm going out on a limb and saying the best player on the team is going to have a good season, but you know.
I don't think most people would agree that he's the best player on the team right now.
I do.
If we took a poll, I think most people would still say Saquon.
Depends who you're polling.
If we're polling the sickos,
are you polling? Yeah, are you polling the average jabron?
The sickos would probably say like Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson.
Sickos might say Darius Cooper.
Yeah, that's the real sickos would say Darius Cooper.
Fran says that.
You would.
I'm not the one throwing Justin Jefferson under the bus. I think Justin Jefferson is one of the two best receivers in the world.
But you know, you would take Justin. You would take Darius Cooper over Justin Jefferson. You have to be committed to the bit.
Who's blocking? Maybe. You're the one who called him, you know, Johnny Possession. He's basically Johnny Wilson, as far as you're concerned.
Johnny Possession.
Who's a good person for like just possession receiver? Like in
a bad way.
Let us know in the chat. Who when you think possession receiver?
Like in a bad way. Like
not in a bad way, but in a limited way. Who comes to mind?
I was going to say like Nico Collins is like what you want in a possession receiver, but
that's
Nico
not Collins is good. You're like,
I love him.
Yeah.
No, I think he's great.
I think when you think of possession receiver as a pejorative, who comes to mind?
Like Todd Pinkston.
No, but he's running fly routes. That's all he's doing.
You got to remember that like the lens in which I watched Todd Pinkston was as a child. So to me, he was a possession receiver.
You're thinking like a big-bodied guy. You're thinking like Well, yeah, if it's not a
like washed Alshon Jeffrey,
like in a good way, Keyshawn Johnson. Right?
Okay.
Maybe that's unfair to Keyshawn.
Maybe like end of career Alshon Jeffrey.
Wayne Corbett, that's a good one. Joe Juravicious, that's a good one. That is a possession receiver.
Do you think Amon-Ra St. Brown is like a possession receiver? He's not a big body, but he kind of is.
He's a volume hound.
Yeah, he is kind of like a volume merchant, though. You know,
merchant. Thrash is more of a possession receiver. Okay. I agree with that.
I was like 8 when I was watching these teams. Give me.
Fran comes in with Alan Lazard. That's a very good one. That's a very good one. Yeah. Michael Pittman Jr. Just not very good.
This is gonna devolve into the just saying random football players with your friends at the bar.
That's what Fridays did before. Yeah. All right.
It's time for you to pound the table.
Time for me to pound the table. I have made the case that I think because of the way the summer has played out, because he was absent for most of camp, I think everybody has already forgotten, and because of the excitement around Jahad Campbell, just how awesome Zack Baun is. There's been so much focus on Quinyon is going to turn into an All-Pro, and Cooper DeJean is going to become an All-Pro, and maybe this is Jalen Carter's year to be Defensive Player of the Year, and we're worried about cornerback 2, and we're worried about the edge depth. Nobody's remembering that the best player on the defense last year might have been Zack Baun, probably was Zack Baun, and he could be even better this year. Now, I don't know if he's going to fully fill the stat sheet like he did last year because that was so rare, including the playoffs. Players since 2000, EJ, who have had at least 3 sacks, 150 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. He cleared some of those bars by several. It's him, Ray Lewis in 2010, Keith Bullock in 2003, Navarro Bowman in 2013, and actually Shaq Leonard in 2018, future Eagle great. None of those guys ever did it again. It's not a repeatable thing. But I think given that Jahad Campbell is going to probably take some things off of his plate, so maybe he's going to not have as many sacks this year. He won't rush the passer quite as much. And by the way, if you haven't checked it out, there's a great video we have on PHLY with a mysterious person who I can't tell you anything about, breaking down how Jahad Campbell might be used in Vic Fangio's defense. Please enjoy that. But I think it's gonna take 2 series on Thursday night for everybody to be like, oh man, I totally forgot about just how good Zack Baun is in the middle of the field. And we saw it at practice. He practiced 2 days, and the day he came back and the first time he was fully there in team period, he was everywhere. Yep. He's running down the field with guys. He's diving with deflected passes. And I remember talking to him about this on locker room cleanout day, where he's glowing like what a year he had. They just won the Super Bowl. And of course, he knows he's about to, get paid a bunch of money. And it was you could read that he wanted to come back and that the Eagles wanted him back. And he's thinking man, how much better can I get? Yeah. Because this was just my first year. This was everybody's first year on the defense. We're all going to know more about what's going on. I'm going to get more reps. I think there's a chance that Zack Baun goes from man, what a story that was. We got to lock that guy up to the best linebacker in football.
Well, first and foremost, you said I picked the best player on the team, and then you picked arguably the best player on the defense. Just keeping you honest here.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. When he came back from the back contusion in training camp, he was all over the field. And it was just such a reminder, as exciting as Jahad Campbell was all summer, this is what one of the best linebackers in the NFL looks like. I'm very excited to see the pairing of them. I think that Jahad Campbell, like we talked about with wannabe GM, Jahad Campbell can unlock Zack Baun even more. He can give Zack Baun more freedom to do different things and not always have to fulfill the same few roles. They can be mirrored in that way. So I'm bullish on him as well. I think that he is going to be, I think when you look at the edge group, you look at maybe some of the questions you have, well, not maybe, the questions you have at outside corner. This team is just built in a different way than we are used to seeing Eagles defenses built. I think that linebacking core can cover up for a lot of things.
Okay. Brandon Stokely, I see, mentioned in the chat. That's a good one. All right. You ready for another one?
You want to do
for you if you're ready for another one?
Yeah, this is relitigating something that we've discussed on the show.
Oh, here we go. Thompson Robinson again. Let's hear it.
You know, I've been getting a lot of flack for my belief in Moro Ojomo. And again, I've been reading your stuff. I watched him all training camp. The guy looks incredible.
Looks fantastic.
So I said,
you're saying the floor is Aaron Donald.
I actually kind of did get into the Aaron Donald territory with Jalen Carter, but not for Moro Ojomo.
Okay.
So I said that he was as good as Milton Williams in the playoffs. Obviously, Milton Williams had an incredible Super Bowl. But if you were looking at the full postseason, I'm coming with numbers today.
Okay.
I am here to defend my take. If you were looking at pressure rate, Milton Williams, 12.7% pressure rate. Got to the quarterback.
You dare.
Pressured the quarterback.
Don't you dare.
12.7% of the time.
Pressure rate to this show.
Listen, I'm already here.
No.
I already did it.
Okay. Well, according to my numbers on pressure rate, he wasn't. Because it's a made-up stat.
No, come on. Moro.
Pressures are
they
subjective.
are subjective. They're
not real.
But for the sake of this exercise, so 12.7% for Milton Williams, 12.5% for Moro Ojomo. I rest my case.
Well, that's interesting. Actually, I have it here. According to my numbers, the pressure rate for Milton Williams was 75%, and the pressure rate for Moro Ojomo was negative 30%.
There are varying degrees of subjective stats. I agree that pressure rate is not always the best way to evaluate this, but I think it is important in this exercise because I am trying to extrapolate Moro Ojomo's postseason performance, the way he looked in the second half of last season, with a higher sample size, with more opportunity. I think he can be as good as Milton Williams was last season. Obviously, Milton Williams, $100 million.
You are changing your picture, your tune a little bit. Now you're saying he can be as good as Milton Williams was.
You
said this week.
I will pound the table.
His floor is being better than Milton Williams.
I think he will be. I think he is overqualified for that role.
Okay.
I'm pounding the table for Milton Williams. I think Moro Ojomo. See, they're so interchangeable in my mind.
I think Moro Ojomo is very, very good.
Yeah.
He has had an awesome summer. You can read the piece on allphly.com if you are a diehard. Surveyed the Eagles locker room. He got the lion's share of the votes.
Yeah.
People across the team are very impressed with him. I think there's every reason to expect he's going to have a big season. I'm not so sure he's going to have like 8 sacks like you think he's going to have, but
I mean, so 8 sacks throughout the postseason plus regular season. Milton Williams, I guess this is the difference.
Will he end the season with more sacks or O's in his name?
More sacks. I mean, he's got what, 5?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Milton Williams' regular season tally.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of, I think deservingly so, Milton Williams, we view him by his last game. And he made himself a lot of money with that game. And again, deservedly so. But if you look at the full sample size of what Milton Williams offered the Eagles last season, I think that Moro Ojomo can do that. I think he will do that. I think he will be a one-on-one destroying interior defensive lineman that keeps the interior offensive line honest with a player like Jalen Carter on the other side of him.
We need to have, at some point on Thursday night, Moro Ojomo lined up next to Ogbo Okoronkwo.
That's a lot of O's.
You got 11 O's coming at you.
Do that so fast.
I mean, I know that Ogbo has overtaken Moro. He's going 6-5. You got
this is
nothing
like
but O
your
faces
corner. I apologize. I should have known that you would, of all people, you would know this.
Looking forward to that. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and count Valvel some more. The Game Time app gives you the advantage. The fans, that's where the advantage belongs, because Game Time is the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experience in just a few taps. It is incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you will get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees always included, nothing hidden. So what you see is what you pay. With Game Time, you can also use the bunch of cool features that you can use, like the customize your spot and the zone deals, where you can choose the section, Game Time selects the seat, and you save money that way. There's easy to find and buy NFL tickets for every kind of event in your area. You can view all the seats to see what it looks like when you're going to sit there. You also get the lowest price guarantee, the event cancellation protection, the job loss protection, and more. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app Create an account and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code PHLY for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Next, we're going to talk about Righteous Felon. Are you craving the perfect snack that satisfies your hunger and provides the right amount of protein to fulfill your body's daily needs? Well, we've got the solution for you. It's Righteous Felon beef jerky and meat sticks. Righteous Felon traces its roots back to the hallways of Downingtown Middle School and was officially launched by lifelong friends in their apartment kitchen after college. The Exton, PA-based company has been making all-natural, premium quality, better-for-you meat snacks for over a decade and evolved into the region's preeminent jerky brand. The packaging is fun and engaging. I got a lot of those in my car right now, keeping them in the glove box to keep them cool. The flavors are bold and tantalizing. The textures tender and soft. These are, without question, the best meat snacks around, and we are only 5% saying that because they're paying us. The jerky and sticks are sold in favorite local retailers like Wawa, where they're running a 2-bag, $10 best value you'll see anywhere deal on jerky right now. Giant, Costco, Royal Farms, and thousands of independent stores. What's more, Righteous Felon helps fuel your favorite Philly athletes by working with the nutritionists of each local pro sports team and provide jerky and sticks for players to eat before and after workouts as a refueling snack during games. If Righteous Felon jerky sticks are good enough to keep Philly's pro athletes performing at the top of their game, it's got to be good enough for the average Joe Schmo like you too. Now, if you're the kind of person who wants a deal and snacks delivered to your doorstep, you can order online at righteousfelon.com using discount code PHLY for 20% off. They have all kinds of cool variety packs and bundles on the site, so it's also the perfect gift for that special meat snack lover in your life. Again, that's discount code PHLY20 for 20% off your order on righteousfelon.com.
All right, back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. My turn to tell you who's going to be one of the main characters of this season. And I'm gonna take one of your boys here. I feel like, okay? Here's how this plays out. The Eagles have 2 problem spots in the secondary. Who's going to be the other?
My guy, aren't you?
Who's the other safety? Who's going to be the corner? How are they going to make this work with Adoree Jackson and Mac McWilliams? Don't look at my paper. And Keely Ringo and Jacorian Bennett. And what's going to happen is they are going to find a way to make it work. The defense is going to be very good. And you know who's going to get the deserved shine for turning the secondary into being really good again? As Quinyon Mitchell ascends to all-pro status, it's going to be the year of Christian Parker.
Oh, okay. That's not who I thought you were going to say.
Christian Parker is going to become the it guy.
Okay.
In NFL circles for the way that the secondary turns over from last year and remains elite.
I like this. I really like this. I can see, because I did a story on Christian Parker last year, and I talked to Quinyon Mitchell about how Quinyon wanted to get to the graduate level of a Fangio secondary last year. He wanted the freedom to do more than just what the call would warrant him to do. He wanted to, you think about Cooper DeJean's pick 6 in the Super Bowl. That's finding extra work. You've got your flat responsibility, and you start to look for the crosser because there's nobody in the flat. Quinyon Mitchell wants that freedom. I think it's harder to earn it at outside corner in a Fangio system. And I think that Quinyon Mitchell has earned some of that freedom this summer. I think the way that he's looked in training camp, he has earned the benefit of the doubt to take more risks and to take more chances. And you could just see, like, again, to use another soccer analogy here, like the tacticos, like the film boys, like, Sean Syed's going to be on, and obviously Fran, they're going to be on Twitter. They're going to be like, oh man, or social media. They're going to be on social media going, oh man, Quinyon Mitchell, he was in quarters coverage here, but he saw this and he reacted and he made a big play. And this only happens because of coaches like Vic Fangio and Christian Parker. So I think you're right. I think he could become sort of the film boy gaze, if you will, by the end of the season.
I like that. Not to be confused with Gabe Hall.
Gabe Hall, very different.
All right, so there you go. I've got Christian Parker.
I like that.
Putting my stamp on CP.
I have 2 left.
Okay.
One of which I'm going to get ridiculed for. But
you can't close your laptop after just spending the last 3 minutes trying to peek over at my paper.
I was worried that you were going to go with my sleeper choice. And I think that Christian Parker is it dovetails nicely into Mac McWilliams.
Okay.
I feel like again, this cornerback
This
too
could be a swing and a miss. Could be.
Oh, for sure. But this is like one of those. If I pound the table for Mac McWilliams and it doesn't work out, Julia buries the footage. Nobody knows. Everything's fine. This definitely won't be another DTR scenario for me. This won't be another.
By the way, I also heard the same thing that everybody did in the chat of you saying Sean Syed as a tactico before Fran as an absolute shot across his
Fran
path.
is like a true football guy through and through. He is a draft guy. He is like the thing that working with Fran the last few weeks, like that guy, you hear like Howie say this, and I hate that I'm going to parrot it, but it's true.
Got tools in his body?
No, that guy is all ball all the time. Like
I don't know. He's got thighs too.
Yeah, he does. He's got some nice calves. Me and him need to have a calf off though. We need to see. But anyway, like Fran to me, I wouldn't call Fran like a tactico. He's not like on social media, like, let me explain to you this cover 4 look. Yeah. So Sean is that guy to me. And like,
you're just throwing him under the bus.
I mean, no, nobody's getting thrown under the bus.
Sean, I think they're good too.
They're both good. They are just different. They're different to me. Sean hates the draft, by the way. Like, he despises it.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, Fran loves the draft.
He also invented Makuba. Sean did. So, yeah, he's on the hook for Makuba.
He is. So that's his Mac McWilliams.
Yeah.
So again, maybe this will be a swing and a miss, but I came with.
Now, do you think that this comes in the form of Mac McWilliams winning the outside job or taking over in the slot and Cooper DeJean going to the outside?
To be determined. I think that he has a role in the secondary. He could be the salve mid-season if they are struggling at that spot. I thought he showed just enough in training camp to suggest that he could earn that job, but just kind of inconsistent. Obviously, he had the injury that kind of set him back. I don't want to use the Cooper DeJean example as like a mid-season addition to a defense that unlocks something, because Cooper DeJean is like the extreme of what you would expect in that scenario. But could he be a week 9? You know, Adoree Jackson didn't work out. Jacorian Bennett's been shaky. Could he play and give them solid quality play at either outside or nickel to facilitate that secondary being stronger? Cooper DeJean, maybe you being more versatile in that secondary. I could see it. And honestly, I think that it's an important thing for the Eagles to find players like Mac McWilliams. We were talking about Reed Blankenship at the beginning of the show. Like, they need to find those like starter level players, day 3 picks, undrafted players. Like, they need some of those guys to fill out some of those spots. It's the nature of being such a top heavy roster. I think Mac McWilliams has a chance to be that guy for them.
Okay, I like that. I'm not so sure I agree, but it's a good good little lane for you to carve.
Yeah, it was a swing. It was a big swing. Yeah. Because I've got one more. It's
Jalen Hurts.
It is literally Jalen.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm on the fence here between two guys. One where I think like I would get more credit for it, but one where I believe in it more.
Just do both. Who do you want to pound the table for?
I want to pound the table for Cam Jurgens.
Yeah, I like it.
Cam Jurgens was really good last year in a very difficult situation, taking over for Jason Kelce, and all of the attention paid on what that was going to be like, you know, and all the pressure that came with that. And he played very well. I think he's going to be significantly better this year. And there's not really like a ton of things that he needs to clean up. I just think he's going to be nails. Yeah. And it's the added reps in the bank of his mind in terms of pre-snap stuff, even though Jalen is taking the majority of that. It is the fact that he's playing next to a hobbled Landon Dickerson. And, you know, I thought about going Tyler Steen here because I think Tyler Steen is going to have a good year. But he's not playing next to Dickerson at 100% and the mammoth Mekhi Becton. There's a little bit more on his plate. I think that Cam Jurgens will leave this season as the best center in football.
I like it. I really like it. Because where would you put him right now? Like
top 5?
Right. I mean, he's the second highest paid center in football. So if you who are you giving the crown to? Creed Humphrey?
I guess Creed Humphrey, right?
Yeah, I could see where he overtakes.
I guess the consensus would have been Ragnow before he retired.
Right, exactly. So And it does seem like center is a position. I mean, I guess these two guys being like the top two at this point does speak to like there's sort of a new generation. So there maybe that crown is up for grabs. But usually you kind of have like one of the older guys, like one of the wily veterans that kind of earns that mantle. So maybe Cam Jurgens steps into that.
People are gonna talk about this like the Spurs. How do the Spurs go from David Robinson to Tim Duncan to the number one pick after? How do the Eagles go from the best center in football to the best center in football?
Like they are. Did you not go Packers because of?
I guess I could have gone Packers. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like an Aaron Rodgers thing.
I shouldn't have. Yeah.
But
better.
like the Eagles are kind of like the Packers when it comes to like they're the center equivalent of the Packers, where it's like they just go from elite player to elite player.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like this because to me, like Cam Jurgens, the fact that the level didn't drop at all, I feel like we almost didn't really appreciate it by the end of the season.
Yeah, in the middle of it happening.
Right. Yeah, it's like you sort of just assume it's going to happen and then it doesn't. And yeah, maybe it takes an extra year for everybody to appreciate it.
Okay. Jalen Hurts.
I am buying stock in the Eagles passing game.
Okay.
I know that it is like, but listen, I mean, he did have, by his own standards, like, it wasn't a bad season, but the numbers weren't there because the opportunity wasn't there. I think the opportunity will be there.
But even the efficiency was not as good last year.
Yeah, but I think
it was probably
his yards per attempt were.
I mean, it was his worst season of the last 3 seasons.
Oh, I think the year before was worse.
Okay.
Because to me,
I'm just saying in the regular season.
Yeah,
and it's also the way that he was treated.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important not to overstate. Like in 2023, like he was, I mean, he cost them games with turnovers.
Yeah,
he didn't do that last season, and I think the argument for Jalen Hurts, like the pound the table for Jalen Hurts, is that like the 2022 version of him is probably the most ideal version of him as a quarterback. I don't know if you're going to get that ceiling every single year, but I do think that over the next 4 or 5 years, he might have 1 or 2 years like that. I think that there is an argument to be made that if you have the right system in place for him, that he could ascend to that fringe MVP conversation type player again. Is it this year? I'm not sure I want to pound the table for that, but I think that with more volume, I think he will feel more like the driving force of this team more often than he did last year.
I think the deck is stacked for him to be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
I think the fact that he is coming off a Super Bowl MVP, and yet so much of the summer discourse was about disrespecting him.
Yes, exactly.
And like he's not really an elite guy. If they do turn the knob up in the passing game and his volume increases and AJ's having the season that you expect him to have, I absolutely believe that he will be like a top 3 MVP candidate.
Yeah, and some of this is just going to be framing. I think that there is a world where like people just start to appreciate what he does in the run game more, because I do think that sometimes does not get talked about as much. Like it's, oh, well, he has Saquon Barkley. It's, well, Saquon Barkley also has Jalen Hurts. Saquon Barkley also does not have to worry about the backside edge sometimes because that guy has to be honest about Jalen Hurts. So I think that some of it will just be framing. I think the fact that the conversation has been around him so much this offseason, it's not going to take that much of a jump in production. He might need to have a signature game or two, like that Bills game from a few years ago was kind of a moment where it's like, okay, this guy can go win you a football game. If he does that a few times this season, I don't think it's going to take that much for people to start to say we need to reevaluate the way that we talk about this guy.
Okay. It's fine. It's a good one. No, it's a good.
I just went with Mac Williams, so I kind of.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel. We gotta we're closing in on 50,000. We want to get to 50,000. Okay, so help us out. And when we do 50,000, we'll go no buttons, anywhere.
Speak for yourself.
We'll have a big party. We'll figure out what our big party is going to be when we get to 50,000. All right, I got one more for you.
Okay. I wonder if I have an honorable mention. I wonder if you're going to take him.
Who's your honorable mention?
You go, and I'll tell you.
Okay. This is someone who I don't expect to play a lot.
No, that's not my honorable mention.
But when he plays, this is no surprise to people.
You better not say Darius Cooper.
It's not Darius Cooper. Darius Cooper is going to play a lot, and he's going to make the Pro Bowl. The conversation has already started to change this summer about where this person would rank if he were a starter. If he plays 3 games this year, when Jalen Hurts goes down, Tanner McKee is going to light the world on fire. The offense is going to look different. You're going to see the same thing you saw at the end of last season. We're like, oh, this is the actual offense that they want to run. You'll see the under center play action, stuff like that. And Tanner McKee will be universally accepted, not just from Eagles fans, as a top 20 quarterback in the NFL.
You've been like stewing in this ever since you asked Mina about Tanner McKee, and she was not like, okay, this guy's a
People
top,
think this is
top
a joke.
25 quarterback in the
People
NFL.
think this is Eagles fans in midnight green colored glasses. Everybody loves their backup quarterback. That's not what this is.
I agree.
The guy is a stud, and he is a starting caliber quarterback. And next year, I think the Eagles, there's going to be if there's a cameo this season from Tanner McKee, the Eagles, as much as they value the backup quarterback, they would be silly not to cash in because they're going to be offered a boatload of picks.
I mean, this isn't surprising coming from you.
Yeah, of course.
I do think the Tanner McKee experience might lend itself to what I was just talking about with Jalen Hurts, where all of a sudden the run game doesn't look the same, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, I didn't realize." We forget how important Jalen Hurts is to the Eagles' run game.
Okay.
But listen, I'm pro Tanner McKee. I think you're right. Like, I think that people view the Tanner McKee discourse in this city as like cult hero status because, I mean, it's kind of deserved. I feel like Eagles fans have had moments where they've, made more out of the backup quarterback than maybe is deserved.
Of course.
But there also are examples and reasons for that.
This time it's different.
This time, it was different with Nick Foles too.
And it was different with Darius Cooper.
It's always been different with Darius Cooper, especially for us.
All right, who's your honorable mention?
I had Cooper DeJean as an honorable mention.
Okay,
but I feel like
the reason Cooper DeJean.
The reason I don't
you
think
can see this though, if he's playing 3 different positions and he's excelling at all of them, it's like this is the it guy on defense.
Yeah, I just feel like he's gotten so much recognition this offseason that it feels like he probably doesn't have that extra level to get to. Now, like the Kyle Hamilton deal yesterday, could that start to be the conversation around Cooper DeJean by the end of the year, though? Because obviously different positions, but both like are versatile secondary players that might warrant more than what you would conventionally pay a nickel corner or a safety. And that Cooper DeJean contract, I'm already like, I guess I should say I already cannot figure out where he should land on the scale of outside corners, nickel corners, safeties. But I thought the Kyle Hamilton deal was good news for him.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
It'll probably come in just under Kyle Hamilton. That would be my guess.
And
then it's also not going to come. It's not going to happen for a while. So maybe it ends up going over that. But
yeah, but who would?
Well, the cap explodes, and
yeah, I'm just saying who else would reset that market like of chess piece defensive back? I don't know. I think Kyle Hamilton's the
Brian
one.
Branch.
Yeah. You think he get more than Hamilton?
I don't know. Usually the next guy gets the most.
Yeah, but Hamilton's such a unique player.
Yeah.
But so is DeJean.
There you go. Julia, who's yours? Will Shipley.
Will Shipley's not a bad one.
Yeah.
I think Will Shipley's got some like quiet fantasy value.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're a Saquon owner, you gotta have Will Shipley.
Yeah. Might have taken him as an insurance policy.
Okay.
Yeah. More like a trade bait. I took 4 quarterbacks in my fantasy draft.
Is it a 2 quarterback league?
No.
So why'd you take 4?
To keep other people from getting quarterbacks so that I can then trade for them.
10-team league or 12-team league?
It's a 10-team league.
Oh,
auction draft though.
10-team league, EJ.
What?
Grow up.
It's like all my friends from high school.
Get 2 more friends.
That's fair. We have a good tight-knit group. It's a good group.
How many starting spots?
You think I know that off the top of my head?
It's a super
flex.
That's child's play.
It's a super flex.
So you can start a quarterback? You can flex a quarterback?
No, you cannot flex a quarterback. Okay. Is that what super flex means?
I think that's what a super flex
Well, it's 2 flexes. No defense, no kicker. Come on, get out of here with that stuff.
Well, I agree with you, no kicker.
No defense?
I could go either way on defense.
My wife's fantasy league is defense and
my
kicker.
wife.
I can't say my Julia.
You can say my Julia, yeah.
That's even weirder. So, yeah. She always wants my advice, and I'm like,
we all ball and churn.
That's what my buddy calls his wife. The old ball.
I don't like that. That's a red flag.
No, it's like joking. It's in jest.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't ingest her.
That was a dad joke. The 0-18 thing earlier was your chance, but you made up for it. And
There may or may not be any more where that came from.
Oh God.
Bunder time.
I don't think you earned the Bunder time thing.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you were kind of
just
more optimistic. I was more of a hater than I thought I was going to be.
I know. I disagree.
How are you feeling about
myself?
You putting your stamp of approval on the Cowboys? I mean, you said that with your full chest.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You were
I did not.
emphatic.
I took them too early,
Cowboys.
but I still think they could win 8 games.
I'd never seen you more convicted than anything in your life.
DTR. DTR.
Somebody in the Discord said they're going to get me a DTR jersey.
I think that would be great. Yeah, what else do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
What are you going to do with your last weekend of freedom?
Oh, well, the Eagles will have availability on Sunday, I think.
Ugh.
So I won't have much, but we got a birthday party for and I always miss my friend's daughter's birthday party because it's always this time of the year and there's always availability. So I got that. And then just, I'm going to try and publish a story, and then I'm going to do as little as possible in the rest of that time. I got to cut the grass.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We didn't want to tell you, but we've been.
You saw the grass?
We've just,
disappointed.
Julie and I and everybody in the office has been sort of whispering about it.
About
guy's got to cut his grass.
Letting the lawn go. Well, it's been very dry, so my grass is actually struggling.
Julia, what are you laughing at? Okay.
But I don't want to. This is a safe space now. I don't want to be the guy who waters my lawn because it feels like wasteful,
Oh.
It's just grass, but it's more than that to me.
Okay.
When you guys see a lawn sprinkler, are you like, come on, man, seriously?
No.
Oh,
frankly, I don't give it a second thought.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe this is main character syndrome on my part.
Yeah, I would say so.
I just it feels wasteful, especially you have to run that thing for a long time.
Okay.
But at the same time,
then when's the last? You're doing the math of when's the last time it rained?
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's we are really into it now. It's aeration and overseeding time, but you want to do that when it's raining. You don't want it to be super dry because you're planting grass seed. It needs to grow. It needs water to grow. And if I do it when it's dry. I'm using the sprinkler for a week, and that's
you got to do it every day.
Yeah, that's wasteful. I'm saying, it's just so much water.
So you're checking out the 14-day forecast
to
see when you can start doing it.
Yep, might have to do the rain dance because there's only a short window that you can get this in. If you wait too long, it gets too cold overnight. It doesn't work.
So then you have no choice.
Some years I skip it. Last year I skipped it, but because I skipped it last year, can't skip it this year.
So you got to do it.
Yeah. I'm not going to sprinkle, though. I'm going to wait until the rain.
Oh, but then you might miss it.
The real risk is that, the season's going to pick up, and I'm not going to get to it.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be a full year of the lawn suffering. And for the record, on this podcast, you and Fran accurately called me out for only being a cosmetic yard guy. Only cutting the grass.
I don't remember doing that.
I do. I think Fran was more obviously I internalized this. Bought a raised garden bed.
Yeah, I don't have any lawn opinions.
You guys are he's only out there for the cosmetics, for the looks. He's not out there planting, and feeding.
You're not giving back to the land. You're just here to look pretty.
Yeah, but I took the criticism. I internalized it clearly, and now we have a raised garden bed, and now I'm up to my elbows in tomatoes. Yeah, but it's how many tomatoes is too many tomatoes,
Are they good?
I've been too nervous to eat them.
So what are you doing with them?
Julia eats them. My Julia eats them.
What, are you giving her poisoned tomatoes?
No. But listen, this is our project, so it's not
Does she like the tomatoes?
She seems to like them, but there's just something
Cherry
about
tomatoes or big hulking tomatoes?
Both.
Okay.
I just I don't know.
Heirlooms? You any heirlooms?
Isn't there something that's a little bit scary about eating something that you grew yourself?
Isn't that the whole point of growing something?
Yes, but
what are you going to do? Sell them to restaurants?
This has been more. This has been more of a mental block than I thought it was going to be. It's this grew out of my soil. What if I messed it up?
If anything, that should be you should be even more proud.
Because it is like we
taste
bought
better because you
organic
grew it yourself.
soil. Like, I've been watching it grow this whole time. But no, I'm just being honest. This has been a mental block for me. So you know what? Tonight,
I think you got to do it. This
tonight,
is it's gonna taste even better because this came from your own loins.
I'm glad we talked about this. Tonight I'm going to make like some bruschetta toast or something. Just chop up some tomato, put it on a piece. Julia's always making sourdough. So yeah, we'll do that. And then
you're gonna ingest that bad boy.
If I show up to work on Tuesday and I'm in good shape, that means that I didn't die. I survived.
I mean, if you show up to work in bad shape, it also means you didn't die.
Well,
unless
maybe I won't
show
up.
Coffin.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be like, man.
That'd be a tough way for us to find out. Somebody wheels in your coffin.
He ate the tomato.
But then you pop up, you do the meme of the guy on the highway.
I'm trying to see if the chat is like, don't eat the tomato, EJ, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Because like, what if
I feel like this is the most that Fran has ever judged you.
Oh, yeah, because he's a big garden guy.
Yeah.
But listen, I am trying. I'm making the effort. Now we have a pollinator garden now too. So we are giving back to the land. We're giving back to the community.
What is a pollinator garden?
It is a garden with a bunch of flowers that bees and hummingbirds and all of the pollinators like to go and pollinate. And I have only found like 1 or 2 bees. I did find a bee on the deck last night, and he was like just not doing well. So Julia like scooped him up.
Voice.
She scooped him up and like put him on the on a flower. And I was like, it's gonna like heal him, like he'll pollinate and he'll feel better.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it was over for a little guy.
You gotta find one of those tiny little bee caskets.
Yeah. Well, I can't find him now. Honestly, probably one of my dogs ate him if I had to guess. The last thing I'll say, finding a hummingbird in your pollinator garden, nothing like it. That is such a good feeling. It's
how many H birds have you seen?
Wait, why is it H birds?
I don't know.
I was saying, did I curse or something? I don't know. You see it every couple days. Feels very special.
That's pretty cool.
Feels like you captured a moment in like nature.
Are you like a photography guy? While you try to snap a pic of that?
No, I used to be. I'm more of like a binoculars guy. And for the record, the inverse of like that beautiful moment in nature is when the deer hop my fence and eat the pears out of my backyard.
Pears? You guys have got pears
we
too.
have a pear tree.
Partridge?
No partridge. Yeah. But yeah, the deer, they hop that fence. And then I try to get the dogs to chase them out of the yard. And the dogs are like
wildlife you've got.
It's fun. Honestly, we have fun. But my dogs are like such like princes that they won't even chase a deer anymore.
You gotta try to like you gotta do like a Devil Went Down to Georgia. You gotta play the guitar. You gotta play a mean guitar riff that's gonna get the deer out.
They like have no respect for any of us now that the dogs don't chase them. They just look at us like, "What are you gonna do about it?" So
okay. Well, I think that's the best conversation we've had all week.
Yard talk.
Yeah, fantastic. What a week it's been. Julia, have a good weekend. We'll see everybody on Tuesday. Now on Monday, we have a nice long conversation with Cuz as your sort of formal Eagles season preview, going position by position about how we think about this roster, going through the schedule, the rest of the conference. That will be in your feeds on Monday. On Tuesday, we return live, 2 o'clock. Wednesday, 2 o'clock as well. And then, of course, the big shebang, the season opener, Thursday night. Lots to be excited about. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Like the video, subscribe, help get us to 50,000 so we can all take our buttons off. And we'll talk to you on Tuesday. For EJ and Julia, I'm Bo. We'll see you later. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.